Hey guys, I wanted to do a quick video on the word enrichment, essentially. So I use that word a lot. Um, what does it mean? It comes from zoology, actually, and in my personal definition, I like to add in the word different, but it is an added stimuli every day that helps enrich the animal's life. I like to incorporate it is an added different or differentiating at times stimuli that helps enrich the dog's life. So obviously we have our calling it peanut butter, probably number one in the dog training world right now in terms of enrichment. Um, I would consider scatter feeding enrichment. I would consider doing that scent exercise, that nose work exercise enrichment. I give water buffalo bones. I'm a big fan of those. I've explained that to you guys. Or any type of butcher bone, right? It's all enrichment. Giving a treat puzzle, that would be enrichment. And I like to have a bunch, and I like to cycle through them every week because it keeps the dog motivated and it keeps them interested. If you give the dog the same simple task that they can learn and start to predict, they're going to get really bored. And when we have boredom, we have disobedience. So we need to keep our enrichment game top level, right? Top notch. And we need to be creative with it. So I try to come up with as many different ways as I can to provide enrichments to my dogs so that every day when they run inside, which usually I provide enrichments where in crates, every day when they run in from their transitions, from outside socializing, outside pottying, outside on walks, outside playing, whatever they're doing, outside training. When they run in, I want them to sprint to that kennel with jubilation. I want them to go, what's Dad got? What's coming next? It keeps them in a better mental state, right? And if we take care of our dog's mental health, everything falls in line, just like with us. So I'm going to show you guys a video of a kind of a prep process of what I'm doing as a creative way to make enrichments. That's something I like to do here, and then I'll show you distributing them in a little while. But I'm going to save it. As you'll see, there's a reason I'm going to distribute them later. But here, let me just show you kind of the process, the ingredients, and I think the why is pretty clear, but is an example of a creative way I like to do enrichments here. So I like to make little snowballs, little treat snowballs, okay? It's adorable, I know, but it's something they don't see a lot, right? We don't even see snow a lot here anymore. So it's something that once you provide it to the dog, it's going to stimulate them a lot, right? It's going to get their mind working. It's going to be fun. It's going to be motivating. They're going to have to problem solve a little bit. This is the cold sensation, right? That's going to be a little bit challenging to them. So you're going to have to fight through that sensation in order to get to the reward. So I want to show you how I make them, which is very simple. It's just 3 ingredients. Go out and get yourself a bucket of snow, a bowl of snow, vegetable broth. I like to use vegetable broth as opposed to chicken or beef. It's a little bit easier on their system, and I found that more dogs do well on it, whereas I can run into an occasional dog here or there that doesn't do so well on the chicken or beef. I get some veggie broth. I like the low sodium one too. And then grab you some treats. All I do is I spread these out in the snow. Okay, a little bit on each layer. Again, as you hear me exclaim a lot in these videos, I'm going to try to do this one-handed. It's usually 2 hands, obviously. But go in, make yourself little snowballs. This one's not going to be too pretty, but you get the idea. Put some gloves on. Helps shape it. Alright, that's a pretty ugly snowball, but it's a snowball. And once I form all these I place them back in the bowl, and then I just sprinkle a little veggie broth on it just so they're not too deteriorated by the cold snow. And then once that bowl is loaded up, I pop it in the freezer. Not to the point where they're like rock hard, but just to where the snow isn't completely melty anymore, so they gotta kind of chew and work at it. And as you see from my not so ugly one that I was able to make with 2 hands, I try to fully hide the treats inside. Obviously, right? 3 million more scent receptors than us, they can still smell that there's a treat in there. But if they can't see it directly, a little bit more challenging, right? So, make a bunch of these, put them in the freezer, I don't know, not too long, 15 minutes maybe. And then I take the whole bowl and I go around to each kennel. I'll show you guys that later, but I'm gonna make these up, freeze them, and then we'll do a distribution video, enrichment video in a little bit.